Hey everybody, my name is Nicholas Collier and I'm from the great state of Tennessee. I know, don't be jealous. Tennessee is wonderful. So my most recent job title or field placement was conducted at a youth facility. I was actually acting as a therapist, working with kids, conducting individual therapy and family therapy. Most of the kids that were there either by court appointed, by them being in the custody of the state, and some were there due to private insurance. Families placing their kids there to receive treatment as well. Um, as far as my interaction with families, majority of the time the interaction was due to the family therapy with each kid. If they had family involvement, some kids were there with no family involvement. Unfortunately, they were just there to receive treatment for themselves, in hopes that they could either go into a foster home or return to some extended family, that they may have some kind of placement. So the basic structure of my family, I was the only child. I grew up in a single parent home. My mom did everything she could to raise me in a healthy environment. The only thing that I kind of find that was hard on me was the fact that she worked all the time. She had her established rules in the house, had a standard way of living, but because she worked all the time, it was really kind of hard for her to enforce those rules, just to reassure that I was doing what I was being taught. And so I kind of learned the hard way that um, the more time you spend, the the time that you spend with other people, they have the more influence. And so I found out the hard way that because my mom worked all the time, her influence was not as great as it was with the people that I hung out either at school or on the streets. And so I found myself getting into a lot of trouble in my youth. But I have to say that I'm thankful that I was able to make it out. One role I have played in my family, I would have to say the peacemaker. The peacemaker, um, the family connector, so to speak. I'm always calling family, checking in to see how they're doing, trying to keep that healthy relationship going with them. Um, Asking them questions, have you talked to your brother? Have you talked to your mom? Just want to make sure that we keep those healthy relationships going on with our family. And so I've always kind of played that role, that advocate, so to speak. Um, even with friends, I've always been that go-to person where people can come to me and ask questions, and I would try to solve the problem. And so uh, that's been a great asset, and it's been kind of uh, hurtful in some ways too, because I've always tried to solve problems and sometimes missing out on some key information. So um, as far as any burning questions about family work that I hope to have answered in the scores, I don't know. I would really like to find uh, some key principles on how to really establish some good, healthy relationships between a child and a single parent. Since I know that's one thing that I had to deal with growing up, and there were a lot of hardships I had to learn from, and thankfully I was able to survive them. And so I think that's pretty much all I have. But I look forward to working with everybody and getting through this semester. But I wish everybody good luck, and let's get through this class.